What is going on, everybody? Majay Media presents Mac Talk Sports. We are here now. We are back. We are here where we want to be. Today is the day. Today is upon us. We have week one of college football. We have North Dakota State taking on the Colorado Buffaloes. And I want to talk about something. I want to get into something real quick. I want to dig a little deeper into North Dakota State because I was hearing a lot of things and I was hearing a lot of talk, especially around work, and we was kind of doing a little side bets, little barber shop talk, a lot of things that we just just kind of talking. Can Coach Prime take the Can Coach Prime push the Colorado Buffs past 4 games this year? Well, I have a lot of people only thinking that they're gonna have five. I beg to differ, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a fan, right? But also we also have people that even feel that they're not even going to make it past tonight. So it just made me ask the question: can Colorado really get upset tonight? Would it even be an upset tonight if Colorado was to lose tonight? I don't know, but I kind of think it's going to kind of tell it's going to dictate how Colorado is going to start off this season. So you got Coach Tim Pulaski that's coming in. He's taking over from leaving from Wyoming as the offensive coordinator, taking over his first year at North Dakota State, and he come in with the high hopes of knocking off one of the FBS schools, one of the most talked about FBS schools in Colorado. I mean, let's just be honest, his coach problem, Rob, nobody really even thought about the Colorado Buffs. And now that he's there, it seems like nobody can take him off their mind. It seems like they're on everybody's page, everybody's YouTube channel, everybody's ESPN, whether it's Fox, they're always being talked about. And when you talk about North Dakota State, they always talk about they have the team, they have the chemistry, they have the background, they had a pedigree to go inside anybody's school to beat them. And let's just be real about the numbers. Let's be frank about it. We all know that they won 9 out of 13 championships from the FCS. We also know that they 3-1 in the Big 12. So let's not get it twisted. We all know that they can go in and beat anybody at any given time. So they're not nobody's pushover. If it was me, I wouldn't be scheduling them to come on my homecoming and play because it's a good chance that they will come in there and upset me. But those are the numbers I was really thinking about. I mean, the numbers that I really looked into, I looked into the numbers within the lines. And I came across some numbers that I think North Dakota really could, if they was to win tonight, they will have a real good chance if they was to maximize their strong points, which was Colorado weak points last year. And I got some notes that I went over that I wrote down, and I want to read this to y'all real quick. All right, this is coming from the Wyoming. This is coming from the Wyoming.com. So last year, Wyoming averaged 486 attempts. So if you divide that by 13, that gives you approximately 36 attempts a game. That is 36 rush attempts a game, and they average 304 pass attempts, which on average is 23 pass attempts a game. I know that don't sound like a big difference, like comparing it from 36 attempts to 23 attempts, but in today's game, that's only like let's just think about it. Let's just be real. That is 59 plays in one game. And if you really look at the way college football and the way that the time of possession clock and the way they speed up the game and the way you have some people throwing or having 70 plays a game, 59 plays per game, that is very low. That's very low. And in order for them to be able to be successful with those 59 plays, they're gonna have to maximize their strong point, which is will be their offensive line. Because if they're pounding the ball like that, apparently they know that they're gonna get a big push off their line. And that was one of Colorado's weak points, which as we transition into Colorado, we gonna go over and see how they plug those holes. But that was the weak point for Colorado. Colorado, Miss Peggy from Colorado, their biggest fan, could have averaged at least 4.9 yards against Colorado's front line last year. Let's just be real honest with it. I mean, if you got a newborn that's taking their first steps, they would at least got 2.5 yards per carry against that defense last year. And I know they say, and I know y'all might be like, so Mac, what's the difference between last year's defense and this year's defense? I mean, they all came from the transfer portal and they all need to put chemistry together. They all haven't never played together, but some and all that's true. But sometimes it ain't about what you put together. Sometimes it's who you put together. And I think Last year they didn't have the personnel in order to be successful on anybody's defensive line, whether it was the well, hell, I don't even think that team would. I don't think that defensive line would even be good in the 5A division. But that's neither here nor there. But and with today's NIL money, that's you're gonna have to like. Let's just be real. These kids are now subcontractors, and they getting paid to play. So they getting paid to play by their performance. So if you're not performing, you're gonna have to get up out of there. And tonight, if North Dakota walk inside Boulder and they win tonight, and it's off of running that ball, they pay to play, and some people gonna have to get out of there. But hey, it's just the first game. Maybe they need time to build chemistry. But just thinking about all the years that they have coaching, they got Coach Warren Sapp over there now. They have a Coach Prime. That's Hall of Fame talent right there, just from the head coach and one of the defensive coaches. That alone, especially a defensive line coach, if anybody that is under the age of 30 never watched Warren Sapp play, YouTube, please utilize it. You would not be disappointed if you have a kid that play any line and you want to watch how somebody's supposed to rush a quarterback. Put on Warren Sapp video and just let them go. And I promise you, your kid will have a better understanding of how to get to the quarterback. So all that experience, that's one of the things I'm leaning towards for Colorado to get there. To get there. But to dig deeper into North Dakota State, I wanna tell y'all why I said all this about the Wyoming thing. Because it brings me to this right here. North Dakota averaged 600 attempts, 618 to be exact. And if you divide that in 13 games, that's 47 attempts per game to 319 attempts, which is 24 attempts per game. So they passed only 319 times last year, and which is only 24 attempts a game, and they rushed the ball 618 times on average in 13 games. That would be 47 attempts. Now, let's be very clear. North Dakota State is not Wyoming. So I'm not saying that he like they're gonna be any type of pushover because they're gonna be pounding the ball more. I'm saying that they have a better chance because North Dakota State is not Wyoming. And North Dakota State have the talent. If you got the talent to rush the ball 47 attempts, 47 attempts, that is Air Force numbers, people. That is like any military team. That is well, maybe past a little bit, but that is really Air Force. That's old school Georgia Tech wishbone type numbers right there. 47 attempts a game in today's college football is crazy. But they quarterback accounted for 13 touchdowns, Cam Miller, and then they also have a quarterback to come off the bench that's he's pretty much Tim Tebow. Like for the most part, he's more of a Tim Tebow, and what can I say? He's going to account for that. And with they key receiver leaving, and Eli Green going to Iowa State, they replaced him with one of the wide receivers coming from Colorado State and another one coming from Iowa State, which I think is going to be it's just a wait and see thing like that because I really think Colorado have a hellified defensive secondary, and I look forward to seeing what they got going in the store. But in order way for Colorado to be successful with that, they have to get to the quarterback. But we'll get into that in a second. But the reason why I said that back to North Dakota State is them boys they matched everywhere that Colorado was weak at last year. North Dakota is strong. North Dakota, if they can run the ball like that, that means they have a offensive line that is well conditioned, well coached, well disciplined, and they read with the quarterback well, meaning that the quarterback can put them in their positions, and even when it's time to make off timing type plays or what they call or the quick plays that start off as the bubble screens and stuff like that, jet sweeps, they fire off the ball, and so when anytime it's a misdirection, they're pretty much in their spots. So they're filling up those lanes that's creating the cutbacks and all that. And it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of discipline. I mean, I haven't played football since I left the Marine Corps, but the one thing I do know is like it takes a lot of discipline to have a nice run game. It really do, and it takes very good timing to take, especially for guard pulling and just just to be able to maneuver the established ground game, it makes your pass game real successful, which is why Cam Miller, even when they did throw the ball last year, he threw at a 79% clip. He was really proficient because once you got a strong enough run game like that, hell, it's almost like you throwing to open receivers because everybody's expecting to run. So it opens up your play action passes. It opens up your quick screens. It opens up your bubble screens. It opens up those quick slants. It opens up those RPO passes. It makes it real easy for you to do that when you're running at a high clip like that. But neither here nor there. This is the one stat I wanted to give, and this one right here really blew my mind about North Dakota State. And it was their red zone. North Dakota State in the red zone last year was 65 for 69. Everybody, I think that's around 83, 89, somewhere around there. That's somewhere, it's like a high 80% percentage inside the red zone. That means they have 47 touchdowns and 18 field goals. They went 65 for 69. So what does that mean? Colorado got to make this a 80-yard game. They cannot, like, if they inside the red zone, it's almost pretty much automatic that they're going to score. It's pretty much automatic they're going to score. So Colorado is going to have to make this a 80-yard game. And what I mean about that, they cannot let them inside that red zone. They cannot even let them on the 25-yard line the way it looked like from there because them boys it seem like they have a they have an addiction when they get around there and they go get treatment inside the end zone. So Colorado definitely gonna have to keep them out of the end zone. And how do I think that they're gonna do that? I think that they're going to have a pretty good chance of doing it by the people that they filled inside the transfer portal. So as we transition, let's look and see how I think that Colorado can be successful with pulling off this right here. So going into Colorado. So in the transfer portal this year, they pretty much revamped their whole defense right here, getting people like BJ Green. You got I keep messing up this name, Shadozi. Oh Lord, so you got Shadozi. We got Dayan Hayes, you got DJ McKinney, also Preston Hodge, and they're coming back to alongside Shane Coach, Shadeur Sanders. You got Trevor Woods. You also got Cameron Simeon Craig, along with Travis Hunter. And I think that is a pretty stout, talented defense. Just listening to the names that's coming off there, and some of those, especially like Shadoze, he was pretty sorted out. Lineman coming out of the transfer portal. And I know just looking at some of his highlights when I was watching some of his clips before he come to Colorado, he gets after it, man. He really does get after it. And then they whole second team, if you look at it, that whole second team is nothing but transfer portals. And so they got a lot, they brought a lot of depth. And that was the one thing I felt like Colorado was missing last year. Even when they was having success, when they was really stopping them, you'll see certain games Colorado have first and 10 turn to second and 15, second and 15 turn to third and 17, third and 17 turn to a penalty. That's when that's mentally, that's a mental relapse, and that comes from not having depth. That comes from you not like you being tired and you not snapping in and going off of what you've been putting in practice, and turning what you put in practice into a repetition where it can become second nature. That's just you taking the lazy way out. But the only way that it can get like that is by you having depth. Because the one thing I learned when you have depth, I don't care what you do, I don't care how tired you are. If you are having success and you got depth and you're getting to that quarterback, I don't care how tired you are. You're not trying to come off that field, or you're trying to get back on that field. Just to I guess you can call it stat pad. You can call it whatever you want, but it's a lot more. Tired is a lot more fun when you win it. And Colorado wasn't doing a lot more. Wasn't having a lot of success with that after the first four games. So, and you seen the undiscipline come out. That and the frustration of losing will also definitely kill a season, especially when you got a chance to see the individuals come out instead of the team play. That's why I think they was unsuccessful, which also brings me to how they couldn't close out games last year. And undisciplined, and they was getting penalties like real late in the game. So I look forward to seeing how that defense is going to come around, because if that defense is not making it to Cam, or when they bring the other quarterback in and they're not making it to him, Colorado's going to have a hell of a night in Boulder. They are going to have a long night, and if they start off with a loss to start off the season, this is going to be a long year, because it don't get no easier. Looking at their record, they only in favor to win 4 games this year. They only favored to win 4 games this year. They got out of the other 8 games, I think 6 of them they told to lose by at least 7 points. So those games, they expect for them to be in and then kind of get pulled off on late. So Colorado don't really have, from the schedule standpoint, much room for error, and I think they'll be successful. And they have the talent to do it. You got Travis Hunter playing both sides, and you got, again, going back to the coaches. You have the good coaches in play when you got Coach Sherman coming in. And the one thing that do bothers me about this, like the one thing he will do is slow the game up. I will say that. Um, Compared to last year, them over here, they was over here 3 and out. It seemed like Colorado take the field at the kickoff. It seemed like 20 seconds later they was going to commercial after they got finished punting, because they was running the ball so quick. And I don't think, when you don't have a running game, I don't see no point for you to try to rush. It's just really no need. There's no need to rush if you ain't got no running game. And because literally nobody inside the stadium, nobody on TV, nobody that was driving watching it, hell, nobody thought Colorado was going to throw the, or at least run the ball. So them running it as a clip, it just gave them more of an opportunity to put up numbers like Oregon did. I think if they would have slowed that down, Oregon still would have blew them out, but it wouldn't have been the score it was, because Oregon seemed like they were just having a 7-on-7 against they 1s-on-6, and I don't even think they have a 6 on the practice squad. But anyway, but in order for them to stay, or in order for them to even be into this game right now, it all starts with Deuce. It all starts with Shadeur Sanders. It all starts by keeping this man upright, because we already know if you give him time, you give him the opportunity, he's going to be surgical. He is going to pick the defense apart. And that's and let's just be real. You can say what you want to say about Shador, but the one thing you cannot say is he's a loser. That boy is a proven winner. And the one thing he do know is a team like North Dakota State can come in and really beat you. So he's not going to take this team lightly. At least I don't think so, because he came from a FCS school. Jackson State is a FCS school, so he know the talent that they have at them FCS schools. He know, because he took losses in FCS schools, so he know if you don't come to play, you're going to get beat, and it's not going to be one of those things the way that you want to start the season. So Shador has to stay up. The front line have to protect them. They skill players. It just goes on to mention averaging damn, excuse me, I'm just over here stuttering. They added LeJontay Webster. You got Jordan Seaton coming over to protect his left side. You got Khalil Benson. You got Justin Murray. You got a lot of people that came out of the transfer portal. And then you also have Jimmy Horn, which I think is going to have a outstanding season from the slot. And then Travis Hunter again, as he's flipped both sides of the ball. I look forward to seeing this. And then even after they come off, you still have a bunch. You still have the transfer Cordell Russell. You have Terrell Timmons. You have a lot of good talent on this team, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Colorado got to do. Now, to look at the point spread, I think they got Colorado 9.9.5 favorites. Do I think that they can cover it? Yes. Do I think that North Dakota State can go in there and beat Colorado? Yes. But will they? I just don't think so. I think Colorado has really something to prove. I think this is Coach Prime's last year with his sons as one whole. Not that that really mean nothing, but when I talk about sons, I talk about the people that he brought there with him too, because they had to have some type of bond to leave from Jackson State. Even though I know coming to Colorado gives them a chance to play at a Power Five school, but some people, like especially these days, and with all the mental health and just being away from home and doing all the other stuff, Like you got to have a certain type of trust and a certain type of coach to want to go play for him. So to have people like Cameron Simeon Payne come from FCS school, Travis Hunter that even forego Alabama and everything to start off in Jackson State and come to a FCS school and potentially be a top 10 pick this year. Have Shadeur Sanders, he was pretty much at UCF and he had offers to go to Alabama, chose to go to Jackson State. Now he's at an FCS school. Shiloh been all over the place. Shiloh probably 2 years younger than me, and he still got eligibility. I don't know how the hell he got it, but still he went from South Carolina, right here where I stay at, to Jackson State. I like Shiloh. I think Shiloh's a hell of a player. He's really a throwback player. All the way to Jackson. So they all got the FCS they got the landscape, they got the feel of it. So if nobody knows, and also Tyler Brown coming from Jackson State as well, got his year eligibility, and I look forward to seeing him do big things too. But they know how it feels. They know how it feels to play on that school, on that type of level, and they also know how to be the big boys on that type of level. And they know they got a big boy coming into their home to beat them on their campus and beat them on their own turf. So, do I look for them to cover the score again? I expect for them to cover that 9.5. I expect for the game to start off early. I think it's going to be a chess match. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a lot of emotion starting off. But I think North Dakota State going to start off with have their head on straight more. I think they're going to be more disciplined. They play together a lot longer. So they pretty much got the run down. So I'm thinking that it's gonna be pretty much up to Colorado's defense to set the tone of how they go play. So if they let North Dakota jump up ahead and they let them start pinning back, I look for it to start being a slinging game like Shadeur pinning back throwing, which we don't want to see him doing starting off. But if they have success in that run game tonight, Colorado, I look for this to be a long night for North Dakota State because the one thing you don't want to have is a running game going with a surgical quarterback. Because if you got that going and Shador start, he don't have to be, he don't have to throw 30 passes a game. He can kill you with the same 20 passes that North Dakota State average a game, but at a higher clip because they got more talent. So and he's way more proficient. So I look forward to seeing this. And my prediction is I think it's gonna start off early going to halftime. It'll probably be close. Probably somewhere around I'm gonna give it like a 20-10, 20-13 type thing. But as it get closer into the fourth quarter, I look for Colorado to pull this off. I think they're gonna not only cover the 9.5. I think they'll probably beat them somewhere around 38-24. Yeah. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Um, so what do you think? Like, if you just make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the comments, make sure you share, make sure you hit the notification. I look forward to hearing back from y'all. I look forward to coming back after tonight game is over with to bring my perspective from a fan point of view and my take from where I see tonight's game. I hope y'all have a good time watching it. I look forward to doing it. See y'all there.